YouTube, welcome back. Forbidden TriHard. I didn't even think I'd be doing this. I didn't think it would be part of the forbidden playstyles. Honestly speaking, the only thing forbidden about this playstyle is I shouldn't be doing it. The whole point of forbidden playstyles is literally to evade them, and here we are to go back to them. That's crazy. But why? Well, you see, what happens when you give a sheep a machine gun? I guess we're gonna have to find out through these explanations, so let's dive right in. Okay, here we go with the rune page. I know everything looks normal because it's supposed to be normal, you know what I mean? But let's explain why this is the most optimal rune page that is there in existence. Lethal Tempo is simply just better than Conqueror. Don't try to argue against it. Even if you might think Conqueror might be better in the late game, games don't last that long. Games last about maximum 4 items and then it's over. With that being said, what other reason you might want to take Lethal Tempo over Conqueror is the extra auto attacks that you get from Lethal Tempo will do more damage than Conqueror will ever give you throughout the entire game. And after that's out of the way, now we go down to the sub runes. Triumph and Tenacity is really self-explanatory, but if you have an empty skull, let me tell you why. Triumph, after you kill someone, you get some health back and gold for some reason. Might as well take it. Yes. Legend Tenacity. The reason for this is simply because you just want to be under CC for the least amount of time possible. If you can, hell, completely dodge it as a whole. Because Darius is not one to be CC. He's so susceptible to CC. So avoid it at all costs and reduce it at all costs. Last Stand. This one actually needs to be explained because it's not really explained enough. Darius loses trades to pretty much everyone at the start of the fight. But because if the fight lasts too long, he gets his 5 stacks, and he's already kind of lower HP, this becomes a godlike rune. It's literally like what, top 3 runes that he would probably want throughout the entire rune system. So this is literally one of the best that is there in existence for Darius. So, Last Stand no matter what, especially if you're playing Darius. Now we move on to the resolve tree. Unflinching, same reason for Tenacity. You just want it because you want to stay under CC for the least amount of time possible. Reduce it. Come on. The good thing about Unflinching is it works in a similar way as Last Stand. So, the lower health you are, the more dangerous you are. That's good for Darius. So yeah. Also has slow resistance, which is probably even better than Legend Tenacity as a rune, I'd say. So I think that probably sells you on Unflinching. So yeah, take Unflinching under your wing. Bone plating. This needs to be explained a bit better because yeah, people might say, you can go second wind, you can go conditioning. No, we're going for early game cheeses. We're going for these early game fights. And even against the ranged champion, you just need to time when you want to go in, have bone plating up so that you have the reduced damage in the all in that you're about to do. This is going to help you. Trust me. But with that explained, and pretty much the entire thing explained, let's go to the stat tree. You take attack speed because attack speed is better. This attack speed is better than 5 attack damage. I know you have lethal tempo, but this 10% attack speed is better than 5 AD. And if you still want 5 AD, go 5 AD in the second tree. This is the second stat. And then here, this is where you just choose whichever you want between armor and magic resist, depending on what you're facing. It's not really that serious. Just pick whatever you want. But that's the rune page explained thoroughly. And yeah, this is as optimal as it gets. So let's move on to the actual build. Well, here we are, the build. I really think that none of this needs an explanation, but it's my duty, so let's talk about it. Tabis is really gonna be more useful than merc treads, but if you want to take merc treads. But if I went double tenacity, then if anything, if I can't build Tabis, then I'd build Swifties. But even then, ah, ah, I don't see any other reason if you don't want to take steel caps. Whatever, doesn't matter. These boots are better than everything in the shop. Then we have Trinity Force. Tri-gauge, these two things pair well together. This increases base AD, and the base AD that you get from Status Gauge passive will now increase and become, towards the later stages of the game, an item that has as much AD as Ravenous Hydra. This is insane. This is what I'm talking about. A sheep with a machine gun for no reason. So, this is an extremely strong combo. Make sure to pair both of them together. This is better than Stridebreaker Starax. This is better than Divine Starax. This is literally the combo you're looking for. You're looking for Tri-Gauge. And you get Force of Nature for that magic resist. And making sure that when it's stacked, you get reduced magic damage. You get that for the same reason for Randuin's, to make sure that whatever damage you're taking from physical damage gets reduced as well. You pair this with the Tabis, and now you become a really strong, durable champion. Now, this is the build that you're going for in terms of most games. You're just looking for these 4 items here. Don't worry about not having double magic resist, because you have Force of Nature and you still have Starex Gauge to tank a little bit more magic damage when the shield actually procs. So you still have health in all of this. This is as good as it gets. It's as optimal as it gets. As for the situational items, if the games actually do last a little bit longer, not that they really will, because 3 to 4 items in the game's over. So it's actually between Stoneplate and Death's Dance. Death's Dance is really strong. True. I ain't gonna lie to you. Death's Dance is as strong as it gets right now, especially in this version of Death's Dance. However, don't sleep on Gargoyle Stoneplate, because Stoneplate is still as strong, especially the stats it has, as it gets as well. So you can't go wrong going either of these items. So just know, yes, Death's Dance is strong, but so is Stoneplate. We are talking about 2 god tier items right now. Now, in terms of which one you want to take, honestly, they are both the exact same thing, or at best similar, or should I say at minimum similar, because the whole purpose is to make sure that you take as little damage as possible, getting that damage reduction and stuff like that. And both of them do the exact same thing, or should I say, get that objective under the belt. However, the only difference is Stoneplate is a defensive version of this, whilst Death's Dance is an offensive version. Which basically means what it comes down to is, what do you prefer? Do you prefer more aggression, or do you prefer more defensive? Either way, they're still gonna do the same thing. It's just, what do you want? Right? And that's the build itself completed, done. And these are the best stats you can get on Darius if you want it. And nothing more to say. As for the skins, honestly speaking, this is where that one skin comes to mind. The skin I would use if I'm doing this build is Academy Darius. Unfortunately, there's no Stridebreaker in this build, but that's the number 1 skin I would go for. If not, maybe default Darius, but I at that point I'd just go Academy. I ain't gonna hold you. So yeah, that's my skin of choice for the preference. And other than that, everything's explained. The runes, the build, the entire playstyle is explained, and you got the skin too. So without further ado, thank you for watching the video. Do the YouTube usuals, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and watch more videos. check all my links down in the description below. Check that Twitch out. Anyways, have a nice day. And peace out.
Nothing but